That's a very interesting question also. I am chair of the retention committee at Louisiana State University, and we had a 42-member committee. And when I set up this committee, a lot of people said, oh, that's ridiculous. You can't have a 42-member committee and get anything done. But I thought that it was important to have a very large committee because I wanted everybody who potentially had an impact and could contribute to the discussion. I wanted them to be part of the committee discussions. I'd been parts of committees earlier that had fewer members, let's say 15 to 20, and I found that in discussions in the committee, we were talking about things that involved people who were not at the table. We were making decisions about things that needed to be done involving people who were not part of the discussion. And so it never got done because those people were not in on the planning phase. And also I found that often the plans didn't go anywhere because there were so few people who understood why the plans were developed. So I think that it's important to have a very large committee. We had every single one of the undergraduate deans on the committee, and they were very active in committee work. But with a committee that large, you do have to operate in subcommittees. And so we had 5 different subcommittees. In fact, the deans had their own subcommittee, and they addressed issues that deans had the most impact in. We had a subcommittee that addressed each one of the topics that we identified as major barriers for student retention. So for example, we had a subcommittee looking at academic issues. We had a subcommittee looking at student engagement on campus. We had a subcommittee that looked at university policies because we found that some of the policies that we had in place were counterproductive to retaining our students. We had a subcommittee on judicial affairs. So if you can have a fairly large committee that has subcommittees that are actively attacking smaller parts of the problem, and then once a month we would come together as a large group. We also had a steering committee that was composed of the co-chairs of each of those subcommittees, and we had co-chairs, 2 co-chairs on each subcommittee, so that in the event one person couldn't be there, the work of the subcommittee could still proceed. And we had the subcommittees make reports to the larger committee. We also invited resource people to come and present at our larger committee meetings so that we knew that any of the issues that we needed to delve more deeply into were going to be put on the table.